going to get slipperier. There's going to be ice. There's a certain level of maintenance that you need to make sure that you are doing to your home to ensure that other people aren't getting hurt. And that's where Tim Holland joins us. He's Michigan Slip and Fall lawyer. It's good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing well.
It does seem like it's hustle bustle time of year. Everybody's going from point A to point B. They don't think about, I got to be careful where I'm walking here. I got to make sure that I'm avoiding the hazards in my travels.
Yeah, I think it's extremely important with how much people are hustling around this time of year to, be very aware of where you're walking, how you're walking. Certainly, the number of hazards increased significantly with the type of weather that we have in Michigan. And, it really is incumbent upon both property owners to do everything they can to make things safe for their business customers and their tenants, and for us residential owners to do everything we can to make things safe for our guests.
So there's been some changes in the law on that front, hasn't there?
Very significant. This summer we had a Supreme Court case come out called the FallLaw decision. And we've got a lot of coverage on this on our website at FallLaw.com. But it's the FallLaw decision. And what that essentially did was, in terms of responsibility for a fall, it transitions who would decide those cases from really judges deciding them over to where a jury would be considering what would be reasonable in terms of both the person walking that encountered the hazard, but also the premises owner that allowed the hazard to exist or in some cases created it.
So what do property owners need to do? I mean, obviously, I think it's, shovel, make sure you have clear pathways, but what are the responsibilities of property owners to make sure that those hazards aren't there?
Well, we really, at Michigan Slip and Fall Lawyers, we really try to help increase safety and safety awareness. And so I think this is an important conversation to have, and we always appreciate the opportunity to have it because myself and the other attorneys at the firm, we attend premises liability safety conferences. We attend industry safety conferences as it relates to flooring, snow remediation all over the country because we take our responsibility of helping to, particularly Metro, helping to increase the level of safety for the general public out there. So, the first thing that I tell people is you want to at least have some kind of plan for safety. So few people, it's what you said in the intro, it doesn't cross their mind. They have no plan. So
right.
a plan that involves, first of all, having appropriate insurance on your property, making sure that your property is appropriately insured for whatever you've got going. If you are a landlord, making sure that you've got the insurance to cover your tenants. If you have a snow remediation company, make sure that they're insured, make sure that you've got cross insurance there. So really having a plan to have the right insurance coverage in place really is the first and most important thing you can do. The second thing is part of that plan is have a plan to inspect the premises. So many people allow incredible hazards to exist on their property. And we don't think that's necessarily because they're bad people. They're just not taking a look at it.
They're completely unaware.
Or complacent. They see it every day.
Sure.
And they know to walk around it.
Sure.
If you've got an extremely dangerous condition on the premises, and you see it every day, you know to walk around it, you know where it is, you know what's going on. What ends up happening is that then, your guests come on or your customers come on or your tenants come on the property and they don't know about it.
Yeah.
And let's say they're texting. Let's say they're talking on a cell phone. Let's say they're carrying boxes or packages that they purchased from you. They're not going to have that same level of awareness. And that's where, again, that having that plan where to perform regular inspections and ferret out hazards is just extremely important because that's a big part of the battle is just having an awareness of the dangerous conditions on your property so that you can make them safe.
Tim Holland with Michigan Slip and Fall Lawyer joins us. What are some of the most common slip and fall cases that you deal with?
Yeah, so certainly an extremely common one, and we're coming into that time of year, obviously, is the ice and snow slip and fall. We have, it's just the kind of weather that we have in Michigan. We have inclement weather. We've got ice that forms quickly. We've got waters going everywhere. When it melts and then it refreezes, we get significant levels of snow. So certainly ice and snow slip and fall is definitely one of the top ones that we see. Another one is simply a water on a light tile floor.
Oh, really?
People don't understand how really slippery that can be.
Yeah.
In the industry, when we're assessing these things, there's something called the friction coefficient, and that's the amount of friction that your shoe would have on the floor to keep you safe. And one of the biggest ones that we see is some kind of a liquid on the floor, or that it's a recurrent condition that it puddles there quite often. And people, when it's clear liquid on a light colored floor,
can't see it.
You can't see it. And so I'd say that's the second most frequent one that we see. And then the third one we just see is something, like a pothole or a significant crack in a sidewalk, where frankly they're so pervasive that it's difficult to avoid. Even people that are absolutely paying every attention, they encounter it and go down because it pervades the area. There's a lot of bad concrete over here in Metro.
And so when somebody falls victim to something like this, or they get hurt, they get injured, when do you step in? Because you end up oftentimes representing these people that are injured. How do you where does that process start for them? How do they know when they need to call you?
Well, certainly you have to be hurt fairly seriously to engage our representation. In the last 60 days, I've talked to 4 families where people died in falls.
Oh my goodness.
So certainly we're seeing incredible injuries, and some statistics that I always like to throw out are falls are the leading cause of death in this country. Falls. And so certainly, if you have a serious injury from a fall, and the hazard that you encountered really was quite dangerous.
Sure.
And so that's really when you've had a fall and you're hurt quite badly, it's really when we get involved.
And making sure that is fixed so that doesn't happen again, so that somebody else isn't hurt again. I think that's pretty important too. Tim Holland, thank you so much. Appreciate the time as always. And we'll catch up again soon, because I think there's a lot here that we should be talking about, too.
I've appreciated being here. And, again, you can reach us for more information, FallLaw.com.
You got it. Tim Holland, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.